Welcome to Refined Resilience. I'm your host, Carrie Hill, and on this podcast, we highlight the small moments that shape our journey toward greatness and remind us that resilience isn't linear. Each episode features stories of perseverance and the little victories that often go unnoticed, illustrating that resilience is about finding strength in everyday life. Well, hello, my friends. I am so excited to be here with you again. I feel I say that every single episode, and every single episode, I mean it. I am thrilled to have a new friend, I will say. Christoph Merrill is in my world now, and I am so thrilled that he is, because I'm learning so much from him. And I keep looking at him over here because he's right in the studio with me. So I want to read his bio to you just because he's done so many cool things. He's got his hands in a lot of different things, and it will give some context. So I'm just going to dive right in. In today's world, establishing life-changing habits that persist through chaos can feel absolutely nearly impossible, especially if you're juggling high-stakes responsibilities, personal challenges, and unpredictable mental health dynamics. Christoph Merrill knows this struggle intimately. As someone who has lived and thrived with bipolar type 1, built a $50 million revenue company in under 3 years, and trained more than 100,000 people as a global leadership and performance coach, he understands the pressures that derail even the best intentions. Now, through his new Habit Freak method, which I love that name, Christoph guides overwhelmed professionals to move beyond quick fix hacks and forge unshakable identity level habits that stand strong no matter what life throws their way. Awesome.
Wow. That makes me sound way better than
Do you want me to walk around and introduce you?
No, throw flowers around or something like, woo, like, could you just follow me and throw petals out in front of me? Like that.
Well, you did the work, my friend. I just read the bio. So.
To be fair, you do an interview type thing with someone who does copywriting.
Right.
And they're like, this word will accentuate, right? And you're like, I would have never used that word ever.
That's right.
Like that's so awesome.
Yeah.
That it's a little overwhelming to kind of like, have someone read that and be like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Right. And you're over here like, is she talking about me? Like, who is this?
It's so fun though, because I think oftentimes we don't hear our bio. We see it, we throw it, up online or whatever, but
totally.
We don't hear it very often. And I like to read it because I think it's a fun place to sit, to hear somebody talk about all of the things that you've achieved and just to be in that space of saying, wow, I really have done a lot and achieved a lot and been to a lot of places. And it's a cool journey down memory lane, So
it is a cool journey down memory lane. That is absolutely sure.
So thank you so much for being here today.
Well, you're welcome. It was awesome.
I love the work that you're doing. And I was following you for probably a couple days and finally was like, I'm just going to send Christoph a message and see if he'll come on my show.
I love those.
Yeah. No, and you were so great. You responded right away. It was awesome. I love that synergy. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So this was a lot. You have done a lot. And we were talking off camera before about kind of how you got into the professional coaching space and the training space and how that has cascaded into now Habit Freak, right?
Yeah.
Which is, it's got its own journey. So I'd love for you to just let us know a little bit, Christoph. And I love the story that you just shared with me about your journey to get on stage to begin with, right? And what that was like. So I'd love if you would just recount that for us.
I can totally do that. I'm going to step back like just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was one of the founding members of Lovesac. So Lovesac, big name, huge name, kind of here in Utah.
No, we love Lovesac.
We love Lovesac, right?
Lovesac.
And
awesome.
I'm not going to disparage because I'm a shareholder.
That's great.
I had left. We'll just use those words.
Okay.
Right? It was a mutual leaving.
Got it.
Proudly, right before they ended up declaring bankruptcy for hopefully only the first time. I'm not entirely sure. But I had an opportunity where someone back then had been coaching for Franklin Covey. If you remember the planner.
Yes, the
Franklin Covey planner.
Yes.
Like you carry
I'm not going to lie. I
around.
still like the planners. Like I like a tangible planner sometimes.
I love the tangible planners. And so all of a sudden it's like, he knew that I had just kind of, he wasn't sure as to the circumstances, but he was like, hey, this guy was, he built this company. I mean, the rapid growth, all this thing. He's like, would you ever want to we just took on a new client. He's kind of new. You probably never heard of him. Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Oh my gosh. He's trying to create an entrepreneur program. Would you want to write it? And I was like, sure. That sounds okay.
Amazing.
Not really knowing kind of what entailed and all of that. And so I created the first program. And in order to kind of being the perfectionist that I am, I said, well, in order to do this, I actually need to coach probably like the first, I don't know, let's make up a number, 1,000.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Through the program, so I could kind of, tweak and make changes and all that kind of a thing. And so that ran its course. Loved, that was kind of my first experience of coaching, was getting into doing that, seeing people be their worst enemy, which was so intriguing to me, because they would come, as a coaching client. Yeah. Hey, Christoph, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And they would outline, right? And I'd be like, cool. Why don't you do that?
Right.
Oh, I don't know where to start. You just told, like, they had already outlined everything. And so it kind of changed the paradigm of like what coaching is it's not actually coaching, right? Because I was a high school swimmer. So I had a coach.
Yeah.
Never one time did he get in the pool and swim. Not one single time. Now, I have to be fair. Yeah. He did have the best last name for a swimming coach.
Which was?
Larry Swim.
Yeah.
I mean, could he have? I mean, he couldn't have been a dance instructor.
That's amazing.
There's no way, right?
That was not his journey.
So he was an amazing coach for Murray High School for I don't know how many decades. He won a lot of swimming championships. Not one time was he ever in the pool, right? As a coach, oftentimes people are expecting us to kind of like be there, do it for them, do it with them, whatever. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. So that was my first kind of like, oh, now I get why he was yelling at me from the side of the pool to stop grabbing, girls' toes and whatnot, as an idiot high schooler, because it was just goof off time.
Yeah, right.
So as kind of, business and life evolved, I had started a couple of other different businesses. One of them was an IRA company, helping people invest their IRA. It's called a self-directed IRA. Right. And you can pretty much invest it in whatever you want. Yeah. But most people don't know that they can do that. And so in order to do that, we needed to get in front of a lot of people. Right. So we connected with Peak Potentials. T. Harv Eker is basically the Tony Robbins of Canada. If he'll be offended by me using that term, he's amazing. He's absolutely great. He wrote a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, where it's literally all about mindset, where your success and your money is really all about kind of how you think and feel about money. Yeah. He was putting on personal development seminars, and I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect. Yeah. I had 26 salespeople that worked for me. Wow. And what we did was raise money, and then we would put them into other types of investments. Yeah. And not a single one of them wanted to go speak on this stage. Not one. Wow. I was so frustrated. I'm at home, I'm sharing this with my wife, and she just gives me that look. Like, you're an idiot. Right? Now, in our family, we don't say idiot, we say idiot. So she looks at me and she's like, you're an idiot. And I'm like, what? I was confused. She's like, it's you. Yeah. You're the one that should be the speaker. And I was like, I had never even contemplated. It was always behind the scenes, whatever. And I was like, okay. So I took the stage for the very first time. I remember it like it was yesterday. There were 776 people in the room. I was given 15 minutes. Wow. Nothing. Yeah. Like, for anybody who's ever been on stage, 15 minutes is like almost harder than 3 hours. Because I can just weave and go. And I mean, obviously, the listeners and viewers can tell. Right. I could probably do the podcast by myself for 3 hours. And, who knows where we would go. 15 minutes? Yeah. Like, how do I concisely, convey the message in 15 minutes? Super, super hard. But the moment my left foot hit the top of that stage deck, it was as if electricity ran through my body. Yeah. And the 15 minutes was the slowest, awesome, amazing 15 minutes I'd ever experienced. Yeah. It was like it took 15 hours. Wow. It was so amazing. And then that turned into 48 weekends in a row of they eventually, because they, they were testing us. They wanted to see how well we could do and how many of the room could we, kind of recruit, because we were doing a rev share. And we converted almost 100%.
Wow.
I mean, if you had an IRA, you were happy to get our information and find out more. 46 events in a row.
Wow.
Busy.
Yeah.
So I started a stupid little habit of writing little handwritten notes to my kids.
Yeah.
I had at that time I didn't have 4 kids, but I eventually had 4 kids, and just wanted to write something. Nothing dramatic. Nothing that they would remember. Yeah. Just something random, right? Each of my kids have kind of their own special name, right? Like I have a gosh. I don't know if I want to share them, but
family secrets.
But no, they're not family secrets. One of my kids is called a turtle. Oh. Right. And she is like a little turtle. She hides in her little shell, and eventually she'll come out. But when she comes out, she's the bull. Yeah. So she officially has 2 names, right? Gotcha. So like, it's just kind of, it was intended to be cute. Yeah. And kind of, romantic and a father, child kind of thing, but nothing awe-inspiring, nothing, whatever. Yeah. And so that started then. And then that ran its course, and then Peak Potentials reached out and said, "Hey, would you ever want to be one of our trainers?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." Yeah. Because I didn't know what it entailed, and I didn't know what it would be, and it didn't seem that cool. Yeah. It was like, wow, that's like a lot of work. Yeah. I mean, being on stage for an hour.
It's like running a marathon.
Is like running, right? And at that time, they were putting 3,000 plus people in a room. Wow. And so to be kind of responsible for 3,000 plus people, because you're the only person on the stage with a microphone. Right. So I had events where, I mean, I say this, I was so bad, someone literally died in my audience. Now, I mean that, I know, terrible to say that, but yeah, they did.
But they did.
They did. Oh. And so as the only person in that event, you have a responsibility. You have to control the room because everybody's trying to rush and try to do all these trying to things. So therefore it's like, hey, I'm going to need to take a pause, right? Can we stop for just a second, right? Is there anyone medically trained in the room? I need a doctor, a physician, ER, med, somebody. Yeah. If I could get you to come up to the 17th row, right? Yeah. If you're not, I need you to stay seated. And if there's nothing else, please give a prayer for the person in the 17th row. Because obviously everyone wants to help, right? But having 2,000 people surround them doesn't do them any good, right? Okay, can I get my event manager to contact emergency services right now, right? Like that responsibility.
You're responsible for the energy. For I don't know that I
wanted that responsibility, right? Yeah. But again, going back as we were talking, the first event that they asked me to kind of like prep for, I got to run trash. Yeah. The whole event, like 3 days. I mean, I got to see other pieces, but I wasn't asked to do anything else other than pick up trash from the entire room of 3,000 people, which you would think high performance professionals that come to a professional development seminar would like be neat and tidy.
Not so much.
Slobs. Terrible. So, you pick up trash. But what an ego. Yeah. Like check it at the door. Because if you can't pick up trash, you're not going to have a great event. Yeah. Right. And then that eventually turned into running handouts. Yeah. And then that turned into running microphones. And then that turned into being the kind of AV assistant. And then that turned, and so on and so forth and so forth. And then all of a sudden it was like, all right, would you like to do 30 minutes of our content? Then would you like, then an hour, then, okay, you're doing great at content. Let's do the smallest bookstore. And for those that don't know, a bookstore is the opportunity to sell. Let's have you do one that's basically like just a book, right? And let's see how you do. Yeah. And then you get bigger opportunities, and then you sell coaching packages and retreats and so on and so forth. But what I learned was all of the back end. So therefore, then when I am on stage, that very first time, Vancouver, Canada, my very first time event, 9 months later, I'm in a room of I'm in charge. So like all the staff is looking at me, right? And in some cases, they're like, we're not sure what to do. So then if I wouldn't have learned that, I would have been out of sync with, kind of whatever. And I kind of put it towards, entrepreneurs as general.
Yeah.
There's a lot of entrepreneurs that want to own businesses, but they don't want to run or be in a business. They don't want to have to make sales calls. Oh, no. I'm just the owner. I'll put in the money or I'll do this. And it's like, wait a minute. Yeah. That's not how that works. Like you need to know everything. Single job, right? In order to do that. If it's a marketing component, you need to know enough to when, if you have to hire someone and you hire it out, you know enough to know that like, wow, okay, they're either doing a good job or they're doing a bad job. And you know really quickly. Yeah. That kind of thing, like those lessons. Yeah. Priceless. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Christoph, there was so much that you just shared with me. Thank you so much for all of that. You're welcome.
I have the big journey. I'm like, it's a picture in my head of the big journey that happened for you and all these like caught in the deer in the headlight moments. I love that. Right?
So the crazy thing for me
that's awesome.
Is like those pictures, right? Yeah. One of the things that I just love sharing with people, my brain, right? So I'm bipolar type 1. Yeah. Works a little bit differently.
Yeah. Will you explain for people that don't know what that means, bipolar type 1?
So, without getting too complicated, right? It is a mental illness. Very, very, very plain and simple. Yeah. Bipolar type 1 is what I would consider the scary kind. And here's why. Once you have had a taste of mania, mania is probably the worst heroin on the planet.
Interesting.
Because when someone who is bipolar type 1 and they're manic. So bipolar, there's two types, type 1 and type 2. Type 2 don't ever get manic. They're more depressed. They're more, it's more subdued. It's more subdued. Where I will have the wildest roller coaster where I will be on a high for 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. Wow. But eventually, that roller coaster rolls over and it goes screaming to the bottom. Yeah. Which is then when most individuals that are bipolar type 1, we don't attempt suicide. We commit suicide. So there's a lot. Avicii is probably one of my most favorite bipolar type 1 people who were successful at committing suicide because of the wild ride that your mind and your body goes on. When someone who's bipolar and they're on kind of a manic cycle, right? Yeah. I could do more when I was manic in 3 days. And again, this is not intended to be braggadocious or this to put you down. I could do more in 3 days than anyone could do in 3 months because I didn't need to sleep at all. Wow. And my brain was firing on all cylinders at all times for the entire time. Yeah. So therefore, accomplishing tasks and accomplishing goals, it was almost as if I didn't even need to write anything down. Wow. It didn't need to check in on anything. Yeah. It was just, okay, I knew exactly what to do, what was next, how to do it, where to go, what to do, like, and then eventually, sadly, the mania kind of wears off because obviously your body can only sustain that for so long. The funny thing is when I talk about 3 years, there are those of us that have sustained mania for 3 years. Wow. So like very, very little sleep, like an hour every couple of days. Yeah. Right? Like that kind of crazy. Wow. So you think of what like your body has to do in order to support that type of fuel. Yeah. Right? Like mental fuel. Yeah. Like put aside the body, what your body would actually need. Like your brain running at that speed for that long, just toxic. Yeah. So eventually the cycle rolls and you kind of push off the edge, right? And for most of us, it's a cliff. It's not a slow, like a woo. It's like, this is awesome. You know, I mean, it's not one of those kid slides at the park, right? It's like one of those scary slides at like those, raging waters that like literally like drops off and you can't even see. Yeah. And we're talking about mentally and emotionally, right? Which then, if you tie in physical and spiritual, your body is then going, well, wait, right? And it gets really dark. ideology. I don't know the right. You ideate suicide.
Yeah.
Not from a wow, that would be great.
Yeah.
But I can't live like this anymore. Right. So what most of us have to do.
You know, thank you for that insight, because I think that's super important when we talk about mental health and we talk about suicide and ideation, suicidal ideation.
Yeah.
I think that it's an important context to say, I can't, that comment right there, that I can't live like this. It's not that I'm going through this thing that I can't through. My body is literally exhausted.
It's
and I appreciate the differentiation between the two.
Yeah. So boy, I don't know if I'm gonna go there. I have witnessed a suicide, like from me to you. Having gone through lots of therapy, not only for that, but just in general. Like I actually see 2 therapists.
Yeah.
I have a psychotherapist and then a regular therapist. And I have medications and I have therapies and I have all sorts of wonderful things that I do, routines and habits that I do in order to maintain some level of balance. Right. Yeah. When the first person that I remember and that I was aware of, kind of like even what suicide was, there were no signs. Like there was nothing.
Sure.
However, we later learned after reviewing kind of with his parents, because I was the one that had to they had a campfire part of their backyard, and he and I were just there, and he just decided, boom, done.
Wow.
And so I had to go in the house.
Oh, Christoph, how hard to be in that space.
Crazy hard.
Yeah.
But for different reasons.
Yeah.
Like why? Like the questions that you ask yourself are like why didn't I see the signs? Like right? Like again, put God in there somewhere, right? Or universe or spirit or whatever. Why wasn't I nudged or prompted or pushed? Or like, why didn't God just grab my hand and reach over there and grab the weapon from him and like, why? Right? Like that was harder than all of it. But the amazing thing is one of my therapists, she was instrumental in helping me understand, because it was later in life that I had an employee do the not in front of me, luckily, but basically tell me exactly how he was going to do it. And I rationally, we argued and we kind of, went back and forth. And then I got a phone call the next morning about 3 a.m. from his wife that said, "Hey, I just want to let you know what Joel did." And I was like, oh my gosh, like again, what, right?
Yeah.
The therapist basically said, once a person has decided, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You're not going to convince them otherwise. You're not going to change their mind. You're not going to make it better. Because they've gotten to a point of exhaustion. Where there is not mentally, there's not there is not another option. That is the only way to make it stop, whatever that is. Because obviously many people other than bipolars commit suicide. But a lot of other people attempt suicide. And I don't mean to lessen, I don't mean to lessen the success rate, right, of bipolars, but we are, because of that, like we get to a point where once you've had mania and you're on your downward cycle, meaning you don't know when mania is ever going to return.
Interesting.
It is worse brain chemistry wise than heroin.
Yeah. I would really love to hear the explanation of mania, like your definition of what mania is for you, because I know there's a clinical, right?
I will give the definition that I'm personally familiar with and that I'm aware of with like others, whether that's in like, kind of support groups or those kinds of things. We have an unrealized reality with what is potential. So to simplify that, I can start a business in a weekend and have it be successful and literally turn it into $1 million business in 3 months. But then I will tank it. Like on that downward spiral, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But during that process of building, I do not connect the dots that like, this is not possible and this is my capability. They don't match. So therefore I am successful.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't accept, there's no way that you're going to create that. Like, there's no way you're going to do that.
Right.
There's no way you could do that with no money. There's no way.
Yeah.
No, because I don't know how. But my brain, I think our brains are probably the most powerful asset we have that we underutilize completely.
Absolutely.
Because we're like, I'm not that smart. I'm not that whatever. I'm not. Well, the moment that you say that, you give your brain an out.
Those limiting beliefs, right? They
it's
challenge
easy,
everything.
It's easy to be like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not handsome enough. I'm whatever. Well, you said it.
Yeah.
So then therefore your brain will make it be.
Yeah.
Where when someone is manic, I am a little disconnected or a lot disconnected with reality. Right? Yeah. So the problem is some bipolars will walk into a casino and go, I can beat it tonight. And guess what? For 2 hours they will.
Right.
They'll walk in with $1,000 and they'll have $100,000 sitting in front of them. And then it turns, right? Yeah. And then they'll ride that train right to the ground. So mania is a disconnected version of reality where you're not. You're kind of in la la land.
Yeah.
I don't mean to like
in limbo a little bit. Yeah. But it reminds me of like a Beautiful Mind. Do you remember that movie, A Beautiful Mind? Like I love that movie. There was so much. I don't remember actually the reality, the real piece of that, right? But just thinking about the capacity that our brains have when we can be in a state that's disassociated with our belief, our limiting beliefs, right? And so that's so fascinating. And as you're talking, I'm just thinking about how many entrepreneurs do I know that can scale something like this because of that scenario.
I think most entrepreneurs have, and again, the bold statement, have some level of mental health issues.
Yeah, like ADHD. Or like, for sure.
They have ADD. They are bipolar. They are
interesting.
Some level they're OCD. There's something because they wouldn't be as successful as they are without it.
Right.
But yet society as a whole treats it as some sort of. So for me, the hardest thing, right? Like when I was diagnosed, after an attempt. Yeah. So I was not successful. And I'm grateful that I was not successful. Well.
Yes.
This ties back into those habits, right?
Yeah.
And upon getting diagnosed, the shame and the stigma of, well, what do you mean, right? Like being bipolar. No, that's not me. Right? Like, no. Like that was the worst part. That was actually worse than like having to like go and sit at the feet of my wife and let her know that like I had a pistol in my mouth. And then like at some point I'm going to have to accept the fact that my children are going to ask because it's not going to be a secret. I'm going to have to tell them like what happened, where, like, why would you do this? Right. Because the crazy thing is, if you would have seen my life, like in September, 2015, if you would have seen it like from an Instagram reel, you would have been like, oh my gosh, this guy is a jerk. He has the best life ever. He's flying first class everywhere he goes. He's got that luggage. Like again, I'm a snob in a whole bunch of different ways, right?
I mean, if we could pan down to the shoes,
he's got Toomey luggage. Like, come on, snob, right? There's a reason it's the best in the world at luggage.
Oh, it's great luggage.
And I drive, an insane automobile. Like, come on. I have a house on the hill in a gated community, yada, 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 right? I have a beautiful wife, relatively, 4-ish amazing kids. I mean, it depends on the day. I have a job that I absolutely love. Yeah. And yet there I am at the lake, September 15th, 2015. And I put a pistol in my mouth. Wow. I literally, Carrie, can taste the metal, like thinking about it. And right before, like the second, I don't mean to over dramatize this any more than I possibly can. Years before, I'd gotten into the habit of writing notes to my kids before I traveled. And it just became something like routine. It was a habitual thing that it just became part of my personality. It was just what I did.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. And so the second before the trigger was pulled on that weapon that day, the thought ran through my head, you haven't written the note to your kids for the last time.
Wow.
Not this time, not in an effort of saving you. Like it was, you haven't written the note to your kids for the last time. And so without even thinking, I placed the weapon on the seat and I grabbed my little notebook journal and I just started writing.
Gosh, Christopher, you're giving me like goosebumps thinking about that. Like,
yeah, well, the things I wrote were horrible. Like I'm embarrassed still to this day to think of the things that I wrote. Like, how do you tell your like son, hey, buckaroo, I'm going to need you to step up and be the man of the house because I couldn't hack it and I quit. And in my version, I took the easy way out.
Wow.
I'm going to need you to like take care and watch over your mother and your sisters because I'm not going to be around. To my daughter, hey, turtle, I'm sorry I'm not going to be there when that stupid boy up the street breaks your heart. And I'm definitely not going to be there to walk you down the aisle. Like horrible, horrible things. And it was at that moment that I like literally experienced just an inkling of what their life was going to be like without me.
Wow.
So then I had to make the hardest decision of my life. Who do I call? Who would come? No questions asked. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I can't really talk about it over the phone.
Yeah.
Who would come and be there?
Wow.
Like who would like think about that for a second, right? Like the person that I asked to call left their job, no questions asked, to come and rescue me.
Wow.
There's a whole bunch of people in my phone that I think if I would have called them, they wouldn't have even answered the phone.
Yeah.
And I consider them friends. Not that level of friends, but friends.
Yeah.
Think about who you would call. That's a totally different level of friendship, right? But I think that's more than friendship. That's personality. That's character.
Yeah.
I knew that I could count on him, that I could call him, and that he would literally walk out of an OR room as a medical sales rep and say, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
If you need me to come now, I'm on my way.
Gosh, and I'm just thinking about that in terms of resiliency and listening to your story and knowing where you are now, Christoph, and the work that you're doing now, right? It just feels, I mean, I can follow that path, but it feels like you've had a lot of corners to turn in that in the space of being resilient from this and being and this and this. I don't know, because I don't have experience with it, how you come back from that moment. And you called your friend and you had that support, but you actually had to be the decision maker to take a different path, right? And I'm fascinated with that moment.
You do. So hindsight's 2020, right?
Sure.
We get to look back and we're like, oh wow. Like, you see all of the things and I think for many of us. So I was in the habit before that of writing in, I didn't call it a journal, right? It wasn't a journal. I didn't journal. That sounded weird. I don't want to do that, right? Like, no, I'm not a journaler. Right. No, thank you. Kind of like the old movies where Dracula comes out and you hold up a crucifix and, some silver juice or something. You're like, right? No. But jotting notes down. Yeah. Not journaling. I want to be very clear,
just
right?
Thoughts, just random thoughts.
Just throwing things down. I can look back and see that the days where I had positive days were days where some of those things that I jotted down were gratitude based, where I was humble enough to not, if you have to edit this, I apologize, bitch, complain, moan, whine, like whatever, right? Like if that was what I was writing, where was my mindset? Where was I mentally on those days?
Right.
Not in a great place.
Yeah.
On the days when I look back and I can see some level of gratitude for something, for anything.
For anything.
You know what?
Yeah.
That lady on the subway smiled at me. I mean, we're not talking like grandiose, like, you know, we're talking like little subtle things that I can attribute gratitude to. My mindset was different.
Yeah.
It was that kind of propelled me forward, because I got to kind of see a level of my children and their life experiences without me.
Yeah.
And then go make it what it should be.
Yeah.
I don't like, I think parents in general are super, super hard on ourselves. We suck.
Agreed.
Big time.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I'm pretty cool. I'm just saying.
I'm awesome now, but first kid.
Sure. Yeah. Guinea pig
kid. Like, I mean, he looks at like we've had conversations. So he's 21 and I have a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
The 12-year-old's lifestyle. We eat black cheese. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It comes at Costco.
Right.
It's extra sharp
He's living
cheddar,
a different
right?
life, you know.
He got Kraft singles.
That's right.
Like, he got crap, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he eventually got to have
the black cheese.
He got to eventually have the black cheese, right? Like, it's the Tillamook.
Yeah,
right?
It's good.
I mean, it's like $25 a brick.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't buy that for my first kid.
Right.
We gave him like, you know, Kraft macaroni and cheese, the powder.
Cheese whiz.
Like, gross. Being a snob, right?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Right? My youngest is going to experience life on a level that she's never going to do, because I want all of my girls especially to never have anyone that can live up to how well dad took care of them. I know that's a very like terrible thing. I'm setting them up for success. I know. But that's what I mean.
Boyfriends beware, right?
We do a terrible job at being the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
Because I think we're trying to be the best version when in reality, the best version is showing up. The best version is the dad that's there.
Yeah.
The best version is the dad that goes to that horrendously long cheer competition for a 6-year-old and buys the $100 bow.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me? Right? Like, is this made out of gold?
Yeah, right.
Like, it's $100. There's no but yet just being there. You don't have to buy the $100 bow, but you have to be there. You have to be sitting in the stand so that every time she looks over, what does she see?
Yeah. You. That's right. Yes.
Right? Like some version of like the excitement.
Yeah.
For entrepreneurs, we're so hard on ourselves because well, nobody's going to want to invest in the company if they know that I'm bipolar.
Yeah. But it's so interesting because at this point in your life, you know, you had all of the things.
I had everything.
You had all the things, right?
And so I had way more. Yeah. Way more than anyone could ever imagine.
Yeah. So it wasn't even about an entrepreneurial journey, or it was just where you were in your mindset. And I think coming back to that sustained bipolar mania experience for so frequently off and on, and never knowing when it's coming.
Correct.
Right. And
well, but that's the worst part about being bipolar.
Right.
Because so my journey after I was there at the lake, right? I'm rescued.
Yeah.
I go home. I disclose to my wife. We were members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so we go to the bishop because my wife was like, "I don't know how to help you or what to do."
Sure, yeah.
Like, this is
somebody
big,
smarter than me needs help.
This is a big deal. Like, you know, how do we, protect ourselves? How do we protect my kids? Like, she was probably on DEFCON 10.
Yeah.
And the bishop's like, "Oh, well, we have a therapist that we can refer you to. You could see him today." Yeah. Right. He was a drug dealer. That's it.
Wow. Yeah.
He was a licensed, well-paid drug dealer. Yeah. Because his goal was to get me off of the cliff of wanting to harm myself or harm someone else.
Right.
So we started at 250 milligrams.
Wow.
We didn't start at 25. We didn't start at 50. We didn't start at 100. We started at 250 because he's kind of in a, like, okay, we're whatever. Never wrote a prescription longer than 30 days.
Wow. Our
sessions lasted no longer than 6 minutes. The waiting room was stuffed. We'd walk in. He'd say, "Okay, do you have the payment ready?" He asked for payment for after how he was doing.
Yeah.
Right? And I went to him for 2 years because I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do to like keep myself normal. Yeah. But I became an absolute zombie. no feeling, no emotion, nothing.
Which I think is so common for so many people that struggle with bipolar.
Which is why we go off medication, because we're desperately seeking just a touch. We don't want to go back full-blown mania.
Sure.
But we would love just a taste of it. Just a taste of it.
Yeah.
I'd love to feel it for a day or so or an hour, right? So what I need to do is I need to go off medication.
Fascinating. It's like a different drug. It's like an entirely different
totally.
drug.
For your brain.
Yeah,
it's all again, it's how your brain reacts to all of the different chemicals and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So why do we go off?
Yeah.
Just to get back to it a little bit.
Yeah.
So 2 years of that, and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
And so I went to a new therapist, a psychotherapist who could prescribe medication. And she's like, you're on what? And how high? No. Let's go to 0. So we're risking mania. Yeah. We're risking like a downward cycle. So I need you to be very aware of how you feel. Here are places you can go. Yeah. If you're feeling like you're going to harm yourself, here's a phone number. Here, like all of that. Yeah. But we're going to drop your medication intake to 0.
So I want to ask you a question right here, Christoph. Do you know when an episode is coming? Can you feel it?
Yes.
You can. Okay.
1,000%.
So
I know my triggers.
Yes. Right.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sleep is one of my predominant triggers. So here's the hard part.
Yeah.
Naturally, you can tell, right?
Sure.
I have a ton of energy just by myself, right?
You're like the most docile.
And so I know, boring this guy. That was the worst interview ever. Oh my gosh. So if I get excited about something, I have the natural inclination to want to work late into the evening.
Sure.
Naturally. Yeah. Right? But I know that if I don't get 9 hours, for some people, 9 hours would be like an eternity. It'd be like torture. Yeah. If I do not get 9+ hours a night, I start to cycle up just naturally, right? Which then leads, which is not inherently bad. So there have been many times after all of the medications, all the therapy, all the routines, all the regimens that I do, right? Yeah. There have been times where I have a project, I need to get it done. It needs to get done. Like I will get it done. So there have been times that I put myself in jeopardy by pushing that envelope, right? So I know for me, sleep is one. My wife knows sleep is a big one. Yeah. Hey, what's up? You were up late last night. Right. Like her alert sensors are off and they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah. Like he was up way late. And we know where he was doing, right? Yeah. Because my downward cycles are the exact same.
Interesting.
I will go and sit in front of a television and I'll watch a season, not an episode. I will watch the entire season of some show.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I'll watch it all night. Yeah. And literally, it's crazy because I'll fast forward. Yeah. Because like I'm not really watching. Right. I'm just bored. Right. Right. Yeah. But I'm on that other side of the cycle. Yeah. Where the high cycle, I'm sitting in front of my computer or I'm on my whiteboard or I'm doing and I'm going, I'm being creative.
You're creating. Yes. Yeah. Right.
Where on the downward cycle, I'm trying to numb. Yeah. Like I'm not comfortable with where things are at. The ideation of suicide is very vivid. Right. And so therefore I'm constantly at a battle. I'm fighting not every moment of every day. Yeah. But every fifth moment.
Do I love that you're sharing this journey with me though, Christoph, because I feel like, as a generalization in the public, right? We throw out these terms and we say, oh, I'm sorry that your spouse is dealing with that. I'm sorry that you have to deal with that, right? But to really understand what that cycle entails and how challenging it is on your body physically. Sure. And to know what that down cycle looks like. I mean, this is very eye-opening for me. I hope for other people that are listening, this is eye-opening too. Yeah. And what I really want to ask you about is, you mentioned your wife and she knows what those triggers are for you too. Correct. And when we talk about building resilience in mental health struggles, deep diagnosed clinical struggles, it is an all-encompassing family event. Totally. Right? Totally. And I think this is something that if we can understand, we can be more open, we can be more transparent, we can actually, everybody can be part of that solution.
How could they not be?
Yeah.
Right? Like how could they not be with how important of a role that they play?
Absolutely.
Right?
But how many families are not in that space? And I think I love
most of them.
Most of them. Yeah. And I love what you're saying, because I think, number one, you know yourself.
I have had to learn myself.
Right?
In order to protect myself.
Yeah.
From myself.
But you did the work. You're doing the work.
I have to.
And
it's every week.
I love that
Once
so much. I love it, because I think frequently we just say, I am depressed. I'm sad.
I'm
right?
Off.
Off.
Off is probably the worst word to ever use.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're not off.
Right.
You're not off. Something. Right. And for most people, again, I'll speak for myself, because I can't speak for most people. Yeah. Because I know my cycle now so well, I can look back on events in history and be like, whoa, that's why I was that way in high school.
Interesting.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Right.
Yeah.
So I think everyone is, and again, you might struggle with whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's this much anxiety. Sure. I'm not talking about you need to be medicated and you need to go to the hospital and it needs, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you have a little bit of anxiety because your mother-in-law stresses you blank out.
Sure.
Right? So you're like, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know when it happens. Mm-hmm. And if you start to watch for the signs, guess what?
Yeah.
They're all like there's road signs all over your life of those elements where you're like, do I like feeling anxious?
Yeah.
Why exactly?
Right.
But here's the thing. I think for most people, we're so focused on getting stuff done.
Yeah.
And doing and being, right? Whether that is as like a provider, whether that means you're the sole provider in a family, which is probably the hardest version of provider in the world, because not only are you a provider, but you're also a caretaker. Like, whoa.
I have been there.
That's
I can attest to that.
That is, but that's where it scares me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is because then who takes last place?
That's right.
You.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. Everybody else comes first.
That's right.
Right? I'm a provider first because I got to pay the bills. Yeah. And then I got to take care of everybody else. Yeah. And then you push yourself to the back.
Yeah.
Where if you put yourself first, I know it's so hard. Some people would call it impossible. I don't call it impossible. I call it improbable.
Yeah.
Because it's a decision.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You then, whatever the signs are for you, do I like feeling this way?
But see, this is so important to this resilience arc that we talk about in mental health. There is an arc, there is a pattern, there are signs that can inform the fact that you can walk through this journey. You don't have to go around it, over it, under it, right? You can walk through this journey. And as long as you are educating yourself, you're paying attention, you are learning. And I think that's the biggest thing is that, you just said, I've looked back and learned now why some of those things came into my life.
Correct.
Those are so pivotal for me when I think about resilience and mental health. Is the education piece of this is so impactful, and not just for the person, but for everybody around them.
It is. But yet again, the stigma.
Sure. And the label, well, that's where I was going earlier, saying I'm depressed. I have this, I am this. And I think when we start saying that, as opposed to this is part of life that I have to struggle with, but it's not who I am.
Correct.
Right? We have a different lens. So
I love where you go with that.
Yeah.
But it's so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like for me,
it's hard for people that don't struggle with a mental health challenge.
For me, on the days when ideation of suicide is palpable.
Yeah.
Like I can taste it, like I can taste saltwater taffy. Like literally, and you know that you can't just get it out. Like you're like, it's stuck in there. I can't and you're digging with your tongue and it's not moving. And you're like, if I just dig at it, maybe I'll if I lick it enough, maybe it'll go away.
Yeah.
It's not going away.
Yeah.
It's so hard to accept that that's reality, this is my life. Like, who thinks about this all the time?
Yeah.
Like, I can say, honestly, in our conversation, I have thought about it twice in the time that we've been talking. Just random thoughts that fling through that then I have to fight with.
Yeah.
Right? I have to emotionally kind of do the tango and be like, yo, I'm not giving that space.
Yeah.
It can come. It can come. That's a natural part of the way that like my brain works, and that I have learned to accept the way that it is.
Yeah.
So it can come.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give it space.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it time.
Yes, I so appreciate that. And I think a lot of this is just reminding me, bringing me back to the work, you know, of Habit Freak, and just being, starting that process of understanding what your habits are.
Yeah.
Because your attachment to the habit of writing your kids' notes was really life-saving.
It is the single habit that saved my life.
Yeah.
Again, it was not intended to be some awesome thing. No. But what I would say is, I think most of the habits that we have, that we come across, and that we kind of like, I call them non-negotiable habits, right? Because I believe that there's something called the chaos effect, right? Our minds, our bodies, our whatever, are constantly on guard for like, what's next, what's next, right?
Right.
The chaos effect is essentially that. Everything that is happening and swirling. Some people's swirl is really small. Some people's, like mine, is huge. Right? And I have like random cows and then fire truck and like, you know what I mean? Like where people are like, woo! Like they have this like, and again, I'm not intending to diminish their fight. I'm not intending to diminish like how tough that is for them.
Sure.
Because to them, it's
context, right? It's context.
It's so insurmountable.
Yeah.
Right. But they might have issues with their kids that I don't have.
Right.
I have that because of all the personality things that I have.
Right.
But I don't have that. So those non-negotiables, right, become things that like all of a sudden it becomes part of character. So can I tell you a quick story about my shoes?
Yes.
So I have on insanely
amazing. They're beautiful.
We'll say amazing, but like, let's be honest, like they're redonkulously expensive. They're like, oh my gosh, who in the hell? Well, but that's because I wipe them down with special wipes after, and I put them in socks.
Of course you do.
And I literally only wear them inside. Like I brought them into the podcast studio in a box.
Well, I feel super special that you chose this podcast to bring these shoes out for. So thank you.
So I was shooting my little reels, and obviously I was
which
wearing,
I love,
and I was
by the
wearing,
way.
Thank you. Yeah. And I was wearing my shoes during the reels, right? Because I kind of I've embraced this like jeans, these redonkulously expensive shoes. I don't want to cover too much. I feel like a jerk. And then like this white hoodie, which everyone asks, how many of those do you have? I have 11 of them.
Oh my goodness.
Because I will wear them sometimes day in and day out. Sure. And like my kids know this about me.
Yeah.
This is another part of that non-negotiable.
Right.
When I find what works for me.
Yeah.
Like I have every color that they make of this hoodie. Right? I have 11 white ones.
Who makes this hoodie, by the way?
So it's Featherly.
Okay, Featherly.
And I love them. I've reached out. They don't want to sponsor me yet, but we're working on it.
It's happening.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep buying them anyway. And so that's it, right?
Yeah.
I wear 2 watches.
Yeah.
Right? I have 2 rings.
Yeah.
Like that's just me, right?
It just works.
So the shoes, I'm there shooting. And we're done, right? Like we shot for 3 hours.
Wow.
Like I think we did like a whole month's worth of reels,
awesome.
like in one like sitting.
Yeah.
And so I have a special chair that I shoot my reels in. Like I'm very eclectic, right?
Yeah.
So I have my chair. So I have to take my chair out to my truck and I have to do all this kind of stuff. And I put that box of shoes on the roof of my car. And then I drove away. Oh yeah. Right. And here's the crazy, because I have more than one pair, I didn't know that pair was missing. I know this is horrible. Right. And I get an email.
Yeah.
And the email was from someone who I didn't know. And again, being kind of, definitely don't want to call myself an influencer, but on the cusp of being an influencer, right? Like wanting to influence lives.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I get a lot of emails and I get a lot of random wacky stuff. Right. And I get this email that says, did you lose some shoes in American Fork, Utah? And I'm like, oh no. Yeah. So then I have to go look.
Right.
Like what a horrible jerk. So then I go look and I'm like, okay, I have this pair, but that pair, oh no way.
Yeah.
And I literally freaked out. I was like, I'm going to have to tell my wife that I'm going to have to buy another pair. And she was already like, you're an idiot. Like you're an idiot for buying that pair. Right. And so then I'm like, I respond, yes, I did. Did you find them? Right. Like how do you respond?
Right.
And he's like, I did find them. I would love to return them to you. Whoa, what? Right? So we kind of negotiated when we were going to meet.
Yeah.
And he shows up and he's clutching them pretty tight. And he says, I just want you to know, like this was right before Christmas.
Yeah.
He says, I just want you to know that like I found these in the road. And I didn't know what they were because like what shoes come in a special box and then like a shoe in a bag.
Right.
Like what kind, like,
right.
And then my granddaughter came over and she helped me Google what they were and I saw how much you paid for them.
Wow.
And so I was like, these are going on eBay because we're going to have an amazing Christmas this year. And then as I'm going through the box, because I'm taking photos, I found the receipt. So I know exactly how much you paid for these shoes.
Yeah.
But because you're a customer of that brand, your name is on the receipt. And it just started to eat me. I know whose these are.
Wow.
I can't sell them on eBay.
Wow.
I have to try to find whoever's they are and return them with no expectation of anything.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a non-negotiable, right?
Yeah.
Like here I am looking at him in the face and he's like, I'll never buy shoes like that. I'll never own shoes. Like I have no desire, right? And even if I had all the money in the world, I would still never buy shoes of that price, right?
Sure.
Here he is, like I am touched. That's a non-negotiable habit. That's character.
Integrity.
Right?
Yeah.
That's character.
Yeah.
And again, he had fully admitted, he's like, had there not been a receipt in the box with your name on it, I would have never known who to return them to.
Yeah.
They would have been on eBay and they would have been sold and we would have had an amazing Christmas. So I told him, I said, hey, every time I tell that story, can I license it from you? And he's like, what are you talking about? Right. He's kind of not
beautiful.
from this world.
Yeah. It's
I'm
beautiful.
like, I would like to pay you. I'd like to send you a check, right? It's not going to be like a large amount.
Sure.
But every time I tell that story to the end of time,
wow.
I want to send you a little bit of cash as a thank you to remind myself of what someone's non-negotiable was.
Yeah.
That like was just beautiful, right?
Yeah. So beautiful.
Like, what do you think your non-negotiable habit is?
Yeah.
Any guesses?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Non-negotiable habits.
Yeah. It has something to do with this podcast, I think.
Oh, well, yeah, mine is resilience for sure.
You're trying to help others because you struggled so much.
That's right.
That you literally feel like a duty or an obligation.
Absolutely.
To help those that are like, that were in your shoes, that you're like, I don't know how, but this is going to work. Yeah. Because I'm willing to like do interview after interview after interview, like sit in this chair, right? And like some of them are going to be not the greatest, some of them are going to be fantastic, and then there's going to be a myriad of mediocre ones. Yeah. And we don't judge, right? Because the great news is you don't get to. It's the readers,
That's right.
it's the listeners, it's all that, right?
That's right.
You know how many downloads they get, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But it's the one person that hears the story.
Yeah.
That you are not seeking the credit.
Yeah.
Right? You're not necessarily trying to tell your story.
Absolutely.
You're trying to get others to tell like, hey, this person has an inspiring of sorts. Yeah. Right? They have something that they've overcome. They've gone through resilience. They've done this. They've done that. Like, I just want to share that. Yeah. That's a non-negotiable for you. Yeah. That then how many people on earth are going to, right? Like, again, you probably look at your stats and you see them and you're like, what? Some random one person from Scotland listened to this episode?
I'm grateful for you.
Are you, right? It's like, out of all the people in the world, right? Yeah. How did you stumble on, like you almost want to be able to call them. Right. And be like, how did you find me? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Like whether you ever listen again, oh my gosh.
Yes, I do feel that way.
It's so like that. It's so humbling to kind of feel that way.
I so appreciate that you bring that desire or that innate path, the essence of you, right, becomes the non-negotiables in your life. If you look at them that way, that's such a different perspective for me to look at. Is like, this is such an important part of me that I cannot afford to let it go to the side. I cannot afford to do that. You know, so I want to thank you so much for sharing that story. And I want to give a shout out to that man, because that is true grit, true character, true integrity. And I appreciate that. For you, Christoph, you know, coming back, I want to come back to the current work of Habit Freak, because all of this that we've been talking about, we started with a little bit of habit mention, you know, you being now a performance coach and doing this work on stage and having this personal journey behind the scenes, and then being very public with it. And now coming out to say, no, these habits they're non-negotiable things that you must do in your life in order for you to progress organically as possible for you, not for anybody else. Yeah. And I think sometimes, I should go to the gym. Should, right? Is the worst word, right? Yeah. I should do. And I really appreciate the work that I've been seeing from you, which is not, it's not the should. It is what is important.
Yes.
And what has real estate in your life that you can build a habit around.
Correct.
That's it.
Yep.
For right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, don't overcomplicate it.
No.
Right.
Right.
Like we all have habits.
Yeah.
I'll use this example because it works out for most people. Right. Yeah. You are either in the habit of going to the gym regularly, whatever that means for you. Right. Or you're in the habit of not going to the gym.
Yes.
The habit is the same.
Right.
Right. So all I want you to do is replace one habit with a different habit. Right. Right. So I think there are habits that are basically, I call them positive momentum habits. They push you or propel you, right, towards whatever it is that you want. Yeah. Then you have negative momentum habits. Right. These are little anchors you chuck out that you don't even realize, but by the time you have 70 of them, you're dragging so deep that like, no wonder you can't get to where you want to go. Yeah. Just turn around and acknowledge one. Yeah. Just one. And say, what am I willing to replace it with? Right? Yeah. My wife would use this one as an example for me long ago. Massive Pepsi drinker. Massive. Yeah. Only full leaded, full carbonated, full caffeine, like the, sugar, Pepsi.
All the way Pepsi.
That was it,
the
right?
80s Pepsi.
And she was like, is there any way for your health, because you're like really getting overweight, is there any way you could drink diet? No way. Tastes like, oh, no way. Sure. Right? Then Coke Zero came out. Yeah. And I was like, that actually tastes like Coke. Right? And then they had to change it because it ruined sales. Sure. And I was like, I actually because I had drank so much, right? And then eventually I got onto diet Chick-fil-A lemonade. That's all I drink now. That's it. I mean, I'll have water. Sure. But other than water, right? Or like I do drink, like I have a supplement that I take, right? Like other than that, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That is a way better choice. Right. So I replaced it. Sure. But it wasn't like I replaced it overnight. Right. Right. It was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. The funny thing is, now that I think about it, there have been many times where I'm out at a restaurant or I'm out at something and I'm like, you know what? It's been so long. Give me a Pepsi. I can't stand it. Yeah. Like I literally one taste to my tongue and I'm like, I used to love this. Right. Right. But that's only because I've gotten completely out of the habit. That's right. Right. Where if it's managing and maintaining your health. Yeah. Whatever that means for you. Just change one. Just change one habit. Yeah. Right. Go for a walk. Like when I finally decided that like, wow, I'm 80 pounds overweight. 80 pounds. Yeah. I hadn't been to the gym in years. Right. I drove by. Sure. Right. I was like, I got to do I have to create a habit. Okay. I'm going to create the habit of going to the gym. Now I want to be very clear because I'm very like intentional with my words. I'm going to drive to the gym. And if I do it, I will reward myself with a donut. I did not say go in the gym.
Yeah.
I did not say work out at the gym.
Drive to it.
Can I get in the habit of just driving over there? Because it had been years since I had, right? Because here's the problem. Just driving to the gym, we have all of the anxiety, all the angst, all the all the mental garbage that comes up about going over there.
Sure.
We haven't even gone in yet.
Yeah.
Right? So if I can get in the habit 3 or 4 days in a row of like driving over, maybe I could go in. I'm not going to work out because I'll be so uncomfortable, 80 pounds overweight, right? And the shirt that my wife gave me, that stupid skin tight shirt that just like you can see all of the rimples.
Everything.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like gross. I don't like wearing it, right?
Yeah.
But can I go in?
Right.
It's been a long enough time where I don't remember exactly what to do, like with all the machines, and I'm intimidated. So maybe just go in 3 times. Doesn't need to be consecutive. Just, can we get in the habit of going to the gym?
Yeah.
Then can we get in the habit of going in the gym? Could you walk on the treadmill? Could you ride a bike? Could you swim a lap?
Yeah.
Like we're not talking about outrageous things.
Yeah.
Those small little things, right? So if you can get in the habit of that, the rest of your life is totally going to change. Totally.
I love that.
Because then all of a sudden, then you can identify, you're like,
yeah,
you know what? I yelled last night at my daughter because she backed the car into the light pole and I was probably overreact. Like, can I replace that with sincerity and be like, sweetheart, I'm angry. Yeah. Like, call it. Right. But not be angry. Yeah. Just acknowledge the anger. Sweetheart, I'm really upset that you ran in, that you backed into the light pole, right? Because now it's going to cost, like, I don't know if it's going to be enough for the deduct. Like explain it, own it. Right. But let her know that you're not angry at her, but you are angry. All of a sudden, like relationships. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the door swings.
The tonality of that totally changes.
Because then you're actually having an adult conversation where you can acknowledge, I'm angry. Yeah. Right? Where a lot of us don't even acknowledge that we're angry. Well, and we just get there and we pent up and we right. No.
But even to bring that back, Christoph, into being able to acknowledge those triggers and being able to sit in a place of surrender to the thing that lives within you, whatever that thing is that you have to struggle with, and those tiny little habits. The slogan for this podcast is greatness is found in the moments that make us. Ooh, and it is the moments, and it really is those tiny drive to here, change how I maybe address this. It's the very tiny thing. So I love this. I would talk to you for hours on end, but we are at the end of our time. We're at the end,
I know. Sadly. The good news is if we get enough listeners from Scotland. That's right. If we can get 10 from Scotland, maybe we'll come back.
We're good. We'll come back. We'll do a part 2. We're going to do a part 2 anyway. This is really interesting to me. And I think that we need more open dialogue about mental health challenges. And we need to understand them better. And the only way we can do that is if we talk about them, you know? So I really appreciate that. How can people find out more information about Habit Freak? Yep. And then are you still doing coaching, training?
I am very selective as to how I'm doing it, just from a time perspective. Sure. Most of what I'm focused on is basically like speaking, trying to share this message, right? With any group. And again, I realize that sometimes the subject matter, I do speak about suicide. Sure. It's bold enough to where people kind of, wait, did he just say what I think he said? Right. But it gets people to really kind of be like, whoa, like to have the amount of courage to come to, again, I was just in New York City, to come to an event where I don't know anyone and walk into a room and be like, I'm going to be as vulnerable as humanly possible. Let's see where this goes. Right. And then to hear people come up after and be like, I'm struggling with like, that's the one that like has really like touched me. Yeah. Is like, I'm struggling with like an eating disorder. Yeah. Or I'm struggling with or something. Right. And they're all across the board. Sure. Like, what do you think I should do? I'm like, you should do whatever you need to do to get help for you.
That's the most beautiful thing about being a speaker is that you're your story, your information can linger and it can exist in their reality, whatever that looks like for them. So I love that so much.
That's the hope.
So we can follow you on Habit Freak.
Yep. You can follow me on
Instagram.
Habit Freak.
Okay.
You can, Christoph Merrill is where everything is posted.
Okay. Awesome.
CHRISTOPH.
We'll put everything in the show notes.
All caps.
So all caps.
There's a reason. You got to turn into section 2 for that one.
Okay.
And then Merrill, MERRILL.com. And again, whether you like or post or follow, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll find something that you'll be like,
that was interesting.
That was interesting.
Absolutely.
And then I hope that you share that with somebody that they find that's interesting.
Yeah.
And again, that's the goal.
Well, I certainly have found your content interesting. So thank you so much for taking the time to come and be here with me.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, good. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Refined Resilience. We hope you found inspiration in the stories shared and the small moments that remind us all of our strength. Remember, resilience is built not just in the big challenges we face, but in the everyday experiences that shape who we are. A special thanks to our sponsor, Build Then Bless, for making Refined Resilience possible. Until next time, remember, it's the small moments of resilience that make us great.